The Game say something about Drake recently. You feel like the industry is suffering when he hasn't been dropping. Do you think there's any legitimacy to that?
I don't even think it's really about Drake. You know what I mean? When as an industry have we ever relied on one person to keep it moving? And if that's our mentality, I think the industry is trash.
Wow. How the landscape changed so much at what I'm seeing out there in 102, but you knew when to pivot.
I got let go, man.
Oh, for real?
Yeah,
I didn't even know that.
I got let go. I just landed on my feet.
Wow.
Yeah. So I didn't pivot. I didn't even get a chance to tell nobody bye on the radio in Greensboro.
What?
Yeah, I was hot.
Was there a person that you interviewed early and you felt like, yo, this one right here gonna change the game. This one gonna be a star?
The person that has taken it the furthest that I've seen from the most humble beginnings is Fantasia.
Wow.
And people used to call up and sing or whatever, and Fantasia was one of those people.
Woo.
And Fantasia, she would just kill every time she won. Every time she would sing, she would win. Then she went to American Idol and won it. The other person that I feel like I may have seen from an early stage might have been Cole.
Right.
And he performed in the gym. I hosted the show in the gym, and he was performing for like 500 kids.
Wow.
So to see how far he took
from the gym to stadiums.
It's crazy, bro. It's crazy.
The Breakfast Club going to Netflix thing. What do you think about that dynamic?
The Highest Point Podcast.
More than the pod, it's a lifestyle.
Yo. Welcome to the Highest Point Podcast. This is a show for everyone who's willing to put in the label to be greater, to reach the highest point. Now, speaking about reaching the highest point, we got one today. We got one today, baby. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got the Radio King in the building, from leaving a legendary mark in Greensboro, North Carolina, to continuing his massive footprint in Atlanta. He's interviewed megastars like Cardi B, J. Cole, 2 Chainz, Spike Lee, just to name a few people. That's just a few. So, we have none other than the one and only Kyle Santillian in the building, man. What's good with you, brother?
What's good, man? Appreciate you, man. We've been trying to link this for a minute. So
yeah, we have. I appreciate you pulling up, man. Like, I guess I got to keep it real. He a man of his word. You know what I'm saying? Like, I met him literally like a year ago today.
Something like that.
You know what I'm saying? We chopped it up. He like, yeah, we'll pull it up. But, some of my experience doing this, people will say, yeah.
My experience too, bro. It don't change. Just that industry stuff, man. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it is true, man. But I said we're going to do it, so we're here.
Yeah, so solid individual, man. So I appreciate that. And, on our show, a lot of time people see the end result. They hear those mega stars' name I call that you done rub elbows with and talk to. And they'll think that type of success came overnight. And really, we know that's not the case, So on our show, we like to focus in on the journey, the ups, the downs, setbacks on the way. You know what I mean?
Thanks.
So I wanted to ask you, can you let the people know, okay, first of all, where you're from?
Yeah.
And what was those family dynamics you grew up in your home household?
Yeah, man. For me, I'm born in Philadelphia. Born in West Philadelphia. I spent my young years in the city. And I guess, like a lot of parents, man, they try to put their kids in better environments. And so when I was a little bit older, like elementary school, we moved out of West Philadelphia into South Jersey. And even though you're crossing the state line, it's still the Philadelphia metropolitan area. Right. So at that point, I'm like 30 minutes outside of the city. Yeah. So I grew up about mostly 30 minutes outside of Philadelphia in South Jersey. So that's where I'm from, man. That's where my roots are. My roots are the city of Philadelphia on both sides of my family. Really? You know what I mean? My parents know each other because they lived on the same street. You know what I mean? So Philly is the roots, man. So in terms of my dynamic growing up, it just depends on which stage you're talking about. Like, it was cool because, you know what I mean? Like, my parents held it down. And then, we had a couple of cousins that came and lived with us because, whatever was going through in their crib. So we had a lot going on in the house, you know what I mean? And it wasn't a big house, you know what I mean? Three bedroom, 1 bath,
right? You
know what I mean? And we had 4 boys in 1 bedroom. And my sister was the only girl and the baby, so she had her own bedroom. Yep. So you can imagine what that's like. Yes. You got 4 boys in 1 room. You know what I mean? And so you know how it gets. So it was cool though, man. We had a lot of fun, and it wasn't like we had a lot of money, but we was good.
Yeah. Y'all had that love still,
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's dope, man. Because I got 3 brothers, 1 sister, and I had cousins that moved in with us as well, so I definitely understand. Didn't have a lot of room, and but with having so many people in one place, how do you feel like that distribution of attention can go? You know what I'm saying? Do you feel like that can be hard to balance?
I don't know, bro. I feel like first, by the time they came and stayed with us, it was kind of like middle school into high school years. But I think what it actually did was, for me, I think I learned how to deal with different personalities in close environments early.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because, at that time they were coming out of the same West Philly neighborhood that I started in.
Exactly.
But I had grown up a little bit more in Jersey, so they still were kind of like raw from the city. You know what I mean? So kind of like, it was a lot of clashing.
Right.
You know what I mean? Not necessarily with us, but just in different ways that things were happening around the family and around the neighborhood. So I just feel like it was good because you got a chance to really just get involved with different personalities and learn how to deal with different people. Right. And you kind of take that with you when you move forward. Yeah,
absolutely. So what was the Kyle version in middle school? What type of kid were you?
I was always kind of quiet, man. I think I kind of grew up kind of shy. You know what I mean? For the most part, I was like a shy kid. You know what I mean? In middle school in particular, it depends on which year. Like 7th grade, you know what I mean? My mom, I wasn't really doing good in school because I just kind of hated school.
Yeah.
So my mom took me out of that school. She put me in a private school. So I went to like a Christian school for like 2 years. So here's the dynamic that makes it different for me though.
Okay.
The school that I went to was so much smaller that when you're in a smaller school and you know everybody, you get more comfortable and you start cutting up more.
Yeah.
Because now you know everybody. You know what I mean? So like my 2 years at that school were fun. I had a lot of fun, but I did terribly academically. My mom just put me back in the public school. Like, all right, I'm wasting my money over here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So during my time there, I was pretty much a lot more outgoing, to answer your question, because I knew everybody. You know what I mean? So when I don't know people, I'm shy away from, you know what I mean? But when I know everybody, then I can kind of be a little bit more relaxed. Yeah. So during those 2 years, I was a lot more outgoing. I think during other years, I was a little bit more reserved.
That makes sense. When was your first job? What was your first job? You're like clocking in 9 to 5.
So I feel like I've worked since I was probably 14, but it wasn't really like on the clock.
Okay.
You know what I mean? My parents, and my mom in particular, she was like, nah, y'all gotta go out there and work. You know what I mean? So I remember riding my bike to a neighborhood Christmas tree farm in that time of the season. And I'm like, riding my bike over there, helping them cut down trees, loading them in people's cars.
Right.
But all that kind of was under the table. You know what I mean? So I did that. I remember there was one time, like the church group we was with, there was some place where a bunch of the kids went up there and like rake leaves on this property for like an 8-hour day. You know what I mean? Like I did that kind of stuff. And then after that, my first job was working in a restaurant, man, washing dishes. We talking about back then, man. We washing them by hand.
Man, for sure.
You know what I mean? Like if you're in a restaurant, it got the big stack of plates right here. And then this sink is washed, this sink is rinsed, this sink is sanitized.
Yeah.
And them bus people bringing them big, you know what I mean? And you got a whole stack and you sitting there like by hand, you know what I mean? So washing dishes. Then at the end of the night, you got to clean and mop up the kitchen before you can go home. So that was like my first job. And then that was my first official job. I did the other stuff before that. And then I worked at a Wawa, man. You familiar with Wawa?
Yeah, like the gas station?
Yeah, gas station, but it's really a convenience store.
Like a Sheetz kind of?
Yeah, it's like a, yep. I mean, they kind of expanded their footprint now, but when I was coming up, they were only in our area. They're like a Pennsylvania, based store.
Right,
you know what I mean? And over the years, they've kind of expanded up and down the coast.
Okay.
But I worked in a Wawa, man, making hoagies, you know what I mean? Running the register, all that kind of stocking the shelves, all that kind of stuff.
I mean, that's what I like to get those stories because people need to hear it. Like, it don't matter where you at. You working at Wawa.
Yeah.
You out there washing dishes. You know what I'm saying? You're here raking the yard. It don't matter what occupation you're doing. You can flip that script and do some amazing things in life. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like I've had some of the worst jobs, bro.
Yeah.
It was one summer, like I think I might have been, home from college or something. And me and my homie, his uncle, I believe, owned a cleaning service. You know how like buildings like this, they have people to come in and clean
Right.
on off hours. So we was doing that, but we was doing it in the restaurants at the end of the night. Restaurant closed 11 or 12. We in there cleaning up. Them bathrooms was disgusting.
Horrible.
Oh, it was the worst, bro. So I done done a lot of
Wow.
terrible jobs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. But you were one that wasn't afraid to work either.
No, I mean, we kind of, in my house, like I said, you kind of came up knowing that you got to get a job.
Yeah. Ain't nothing given to you. You got to go ahead and get it.
Yeah,
man. Like for sure. And I'm sure that translated into how you got into your career, having that work ethic.
Absolutely.
So when do you realize you're going to do radio?
Not till I walked in the building at 102 Jamz. What I really wanted to do was be an artist. Of course, yeah, everybody has that. Dream,
Yeah. Me
right.
too.
So even when I first started at Winston-Salem State, my first major was music business. I wanted to work in the music business.
Yeah.
And even then, I thought that, all right, cool, I want to be in music. I thought I would get a job with the record labels.
Right.
You know what I mean? So when I got on campus, I was doing stuff like I was doing street team stuff for record labels. Like, you know what I mean? Def Jam might have had a new artist out. Well, I'm fast forwarding a little bit, but I was at some point I was doing stuff like, I remember the Cisco album came out. You know what I mean? And then there was a listening party.
Yeah.
So I got to go around campus and invite people to the listening party. You know what I mean? Or somebody had an album out and I would go, I hosted a listening party in the dorm where certain people came out like, all right, it's a new album out. Who want to come listen to it? Like, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. So I wanted to be on that side of the music business. But at Winston-Salem State at the time, I don't know if it's changed, in order for you to be a music business major, you had to be able to play an instrument. You had to be able to play some kind of music.
Oh, wow.
And I did. I mean, when I was a kid, I played the trumpet.
Right.
When I was in middle school, like you asked about, I did a summer of piano lessons.
Okay.
But we talking, you know what I mean?
Yes.
I don't remember none of that.
Right.
So the closest thing I could get to music was switching my major to mass communication and radio and television. So that's why I switched it to radio. And then when I got my internship, I got it at the radio station, and I was like, I'm never leaving.
That's crazy. Now, doing that street team stuff, you dealing with people face to face, talking. How much of that you think kind of prepared you for some of that radio work?
Yeah, I think by that time I was kind of a little bit more. I was older, so I was more comfortable in that space a little bit at that time. You know what I mean? But it definitely prepared you. You know what I mean? Because you do have to talk to people.
Right.
You know what I mean? But just being out there, and to be honest, I think the job in general has made me more comfortable talking to people, not the other way around. Not comfortable people, so I got the job.
Right.
The job made me more comfortable talking to people.
Got it.
But all of that comes from Winston-Salem State, though. And I know we jumped around a little bit, but Winston-Salem State was kind of like the transition for me in that space in terms of being from the Shire kid to being out here, you know what I mean? Just being able to kick it with people.
Yeah, major shout out to Winston-Salem, man.
Yeah, man.
You know,
Dr. Ingram, man, I had a speech class.
Yeah.
And in this class, we had to give speeches. You had to go up there, you had to write a speech, you had to go give it. Sometimes you had to do an impromptu speech.
Right.
Sometimes you had bullet points. Sometimes you had to do a word for word or whatever. But that particular class, you had to go stand in the front of the classroom and talk to people.
Right.
So by the end of that class, I was like, oh, all right, this ain't that big of a deal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, let's talk about kind of radio landscape a little bit because, you've seen it change from traditional radio to this whole digital space, podcasting and everything. So what's some old school radio rule that you refuse to break, and what's one you're glad is gone?
One that I refuse to break, man. I think radio, in terms of what we do, has to be personality based. You know what I mean? Like everybody's playing the same music. Everybody can get the music everywhere. Whether it's now or then, at the end of the day, like our job as radio personalities is to be the personality. So it has to be personality based. Like, you know what I mean? Whoever can bring and shine and present their personality, you know what I mean, in a good way, like you have a better chance of winning.
Right.
One thing that I'm glad is gone. I don't really know that I have too many things that I'm glad are gone. Most things I want back.
Like, what's something you want back?
A little bit more A little bit more freedom. I think with the way that the landscape has changed and the competition is competition with other forms of media, it forces radio to react in certain ways where I'll just give you an example. There might have been a time period where we had this much time to talk.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then over the time with all these different things, now we get this much time to talk.
Yep, sure.
You know what I mean? Or there were times where, when we was at 102 Jamz, we was out in the street a lot. You know what I mean? But things have changed so much from a corporate standpoint. Everything is monetized in such a way that now a lot of radio stations don't have a budget to send people out into the street the way that we came into the game being out in the street.
Yeah.
So most things in radio I want back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Those are the things that I think made it special at the time. Right. And I think even if you listen, some people still hold on to some things. Like, it's some good people out there doing good radio. But I think in general, as a landscape, as a medium, you know what I mean? Most radio stations around the country are not doing what we were doing at that time. Right.
Yeah, man, because a lot changed. Like, I remember, I'm cool with Showdown. And I remember back in the day, you could kind of go to the radio station, they still up there.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of stuff is, pre-recorded now. Like, yo,
yeah,
I ain't up there. I recorded that this afternoon. And
all of that. Like,
it's crazy.
I came in this game, and this radio station was live 24/7.
Right.
Around the clock. You know what I mean? So, even stuff like that, bro.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, it felt like it was, more for the people a little bit than, I don't know, it just seemed more tangible. It don't feel as tangible anymore. Just in that space. Well, I'm not sure how it is here in Atlanta. But even talking about how the landscape changed so much at what I'm seeing out there in 102, somehow I don't know if you forecasted it, but you knew when to pivot. It's like you pivoted.
I wish it seemed that way.
It looked like
bro, I got let go, man.
Oh, for real?
Yeah,
I didn't even know that.
I got let go. I just landed on my feet.
Wow.
Yeah, I got let go, man. I didn't get let go in the middle of a contract. I had a contract that was up. Most times in radio, if you have a contract that's up, then you talk, you have terms. All right, we want to talk about this new contract. So, my contract was up. They decided to go different direction. So, I didn't pivot. I didn't even get a chance to tell nobody bye on the radio in Greensboro.
What?
Yeah, people just looked up and I was gone.
Man.
Right. That's crazy.
That's like that sting right there.
I was hot. I was hot for a minute about that.
God.
You put 15 years into a place and you don't get a chance to even say, yo, I appreciate y'all.
Right.
Yeah, I was hot. I was upset, man. I ain't gonna hold you. But so I didn't pivot on purpose. Now, mind you, behind the scenes, I've been trying to make moves.
Right.
But that's not how it happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not how it happened.
Yeah. And you definitely landed on your feet and kept running.
That was scary though, bro. I went 6 months trying to figure it out.
Wow.
6 months trying to figure it out. Because that run ended at 102 Jamz June 2024, literally a week or two before Super Jam. Literally a week or two before Super Jam. And so I spent the second half of 2014 and this goes to, I think you said something earlier just about perseverance and trying to, you know what I mean? Keep things moving.
Yeah.
I said that I was stressed out. That second half of 2014, there's a couple of things I was thinking. One, I'm trying to find a new job in radio. Two, if I don't find a job in radio, I got to find a job.
Right, 100%.
You know what I'm saying? I got a wife and kids and mortgage and all that. So, you can never be too proud to say it's going to be this or nothing. I got to find a job.
Right.
You feel me? This ain't even about radio. This is about bills. I got a certain amount of unemployment, severance, and when that runs out, I better be, you know what I mean? So that 6 months was that for me. So I had, obviously I knew some people in the industry and I was traveling and I was reaching out to people. And some things were, you know what I mean, on the table in some places. Some places were part-time and I'm like, man, I'm in North Carolina. I can't come all the way out there for 1 day a week.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it got to the point where I was like, all right, well, if I don't land a job in radio, what can I do? And I told you earlier, I grew up in Jersey. So what I did was I went back to New Jersey for 2 weeks and I did a program for a real estate license. I did, a lot of times people do real estate courses part-time after work
Right.
over the course of however many months it takes to study and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And I found a course that you can either do it like that
Mm-hmm.
or you can come in here every day from 9 to 5, bang the whole thing out in 2 weeks and take your test. I said, I'm doing that.
Facts.
I went back to Jersey for 2 weeks, went to that class every day, studied every night, and at the end of the course, passed the test with them. Then I had to go back and take the state test with the state of New Jersey, got my real estate license, had that in my back pocket.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, so these are the kind of things that I was doing during that time period.
Wow.
Yeah. And it's kind
You
of
was
crazy.
hustling. You
Bro,
like,
and you know what I mean? In this industry and where everything is so in front of people,
right.
it's a humbling experience too. Like I remember feeling crazy, like walking down to the unemployment office.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And people in there know who you are.
Right.
You've been on the radio for 15 years. You think they don't know you?
Yeah.
Like that kind of stuff is humbling, bros. But
Yeah.
at the end of the day, like we do what we got to do.
Yeah, facts.
Yeah.
Now, with that disappointment, that hurt, that you feel like that was disrespectful, how can you, or could you even prevent that from bleeding into the home? Because, you're married, you got a wife, kids. It's like, did that cause a little turmoil at home a little bit?
No, I didn't cause no turmoil, man. My home was good.
Good.
My wife was still working, so you know what I mean? So that was cool. What the positive side of it, which was kind of weird, was when you get up and you do it on the radio every day, and we're on these weird schedules at 6 o'clock in the morning, we're on the air and all of that. On some level, it allowed me to breathe. You know what I mean? It's kind of like what people went through with COVID.
Right.
And you just sat down for a minute, and a lot of people enjoyed that sit down.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of had a little bit of that. Like I was stressing over a job,
Right.
and at the same time, I'm like, yo, I'm here when the kids are home. I'm here in the morning. I get up, make the kids breakfast or
Right.
whatever. You know what I mean? I don't have to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning. I can get up at 7 or 8. You know what I mean? So there was a little bit of that mixed in with the stress of finding a job, but it didn't cause any turmoil because I wasn't just sitting around the house doing nothing. Like I was,
Right.
you know what I mean?
Yeah. Man, everyone that I know just thought you just left the radio.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I did want to ask you, just thinking about that, some people take pride at being in a place for like 20 or 30 years, but is there a cost of loyalty, like professionally, where you actually put yourself at a ceiling where you can't grow anymore, or learn anything new if you stay loyal?
Yeah, there can be. I think it's going to depend on your personal circumstances. Like, I think if you're going to stay in a place for a long period of time, you got to make sure you're getting what you need from it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It can't just be you staying there for the sake of saying I've been here however many years.
Right.
Like what is your benefit in that circumstance? You know what I mean? It's interesting though, because I think about this sometimes too, right? I did my 15 years in Greensboro. I did 8 in Chicago. I'm 3 now in on the morning hustle. But some people have done their entire radio careers in one city.
Right.
So to your question, I see the benefit of that.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because every time I moved, which not been a lot of more radio people have moved more than me.
Mm-hmm.
But every time I've moved, I've had to start over. So, but what if you have 30 years in an Atlanta?
Yeah, like a big boy. He been.
You see what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
like he don't gotta go nowhere. Like
Yeah.
you know who Big Boy is, and he's the mayor of LA.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So there's a benefit in growing in one place over the course of your career. There's a benefit in that. You know what I mean? But also there's growth that takes place when you move. And
Yeah.
you gotta start over and figure it out.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I've had to start over and figure it out a couple of times now. So there's something to be said for that too.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I'm just trying to find a parallel, because I work in the corporate space too and do my show and stuff. And some of the things I've seen career wise, like I be in a certain department. I work for the same company for like 13 years, but I changed my positions probably like every 2 years. But I know people that stayed in their same position for years, but I'm like, you feel comfortable in this space, but also I know you're at a cap where you can't get much more financially. That's why I moved to different places.
Yeah.
And I didn't know how that landscape was in the radio, if you had to do different positions to continue to try to build your stuff financially or even learn more, Yeah,
I think it could be a benefit. You know what I mean? So there's two different things you said though, because one is changing positions, but the other is changing locations. You know what I mean? So to your point, changing positions, I think you kind of can grow in radio where you, like for me, like when I started at 102 Jamz, you know what I mean? When I first got an opportunity to be on the radio, it was on the weekend in the middle of the night when nobody was listening.
Right.
Because I've never been on the radio before, so I had to get my reps in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So then it got, okay, he's getting a little better. We're moving to a better slot. Okay, he's getting a little better. Now we'll put him on Saturday afternoon. Now everybody in the afternoon can hear you. Then it got to the point where, okay, I was good enough as a part-timer that when the full-time people were on vacation, now I can fill in one of their slots.
Got it.
Then I was filling in their slots. And then I got to a position where I got my own slot.
Right.
And I was doing night times. I was on with Showdown. We mentioned earlier. Me and Showdown was on from 7 to midnight. I had the night spot.
Yeah.
And I did nights for a couple of years. And then I went to the morning show. So there's still growth there within being the same location.
Yeah.
And then there's a different growth when you're moving locations. You know what I mean? So I think you have, no matter what it is, you should be trying to grow and trying to get more experience under your belt.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? How it looks might just pertain to your circumstances.
Dang. I mean, it's crazy because my perception from the outside looking in, I mean, mind you, I didn't come to Greensboro till like 2004.
That's when I started the morning show.
And I thought you were always the morning show guy.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, sorry, you said 2004?
Yeah.
I started the morning show August of 2003.
Wow.
I started at 102 Jamz, like I told you, in 99. So I had put 4 years in before I got to that.
So my whole perception was like, yo, he been the man since forever, you know? Like, but you worked your way to that position. That's what people got to really understand and see, that whole journey. Like, you got this limited amount of time. You got to make sure you get the best out of that time.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Put your best foot forward because it can be progressively moving in a position that can be very beneficial for you. So,
and I always say too, man, like when I came in, since we on that particular period, when I came in as when I came in as an intern, I think the first intern meeting, it was like 25 of us. By the end of the summer, it was 4 of us.
wow.
You know what I mean? And I've always had the mentality, and you said this about how you moved around with different positions in the same company. When I got in that door, I was like, I'm in here now.
Right.
So now I just got to learn shit. You know what I mean? So how much can I learn? What can I do while I'm here? Who can I help? I'm asking people, how do I do this? How do I do that? Oh, okay, this is the recording. Oh, how you record commercials? Or you need me for a voice or anything? And at the time, I was a part-timer. Kendall B was doing nights. I used to harass him. Like, bro, can I learn? I want to learn how to use a board. I want to run the board. I need harass. Till he was on the air from 7 to midnight.
Yeah.
So he finally said, you know what? Come in. You can run the last hour of my show. 11 and 12 at night.
Right.
A lot of people, I'm like, I ain't coming in there late at night. I'm like, all right. You know what I mean?
I got it.
I come in there a couple times. I watch him a couple times. Then he lets me run the board a couple times. Now I know how to run the board.
Right.
So as an intern, I took on so much, or I was trying to learn so much. I was trying to put myself in a position where of value.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. 100%.
And I think you have to do that no matter what company you're at.
Yeah, for sure. Now, in present, you were on the morning hustle. You got your co-host L'Oreal. Just looking at to have a great radio show, you got to have good chemistry. It's like you almost become kind of like family sometimes. Now, was there ever a moment where you guys just completely disagreed on air, but it turned out to be like radio gold? Like, yo, this was a great segment, even though we was going at it about something.
No, that happens. That happens on the Morning Hustle show. That happens on the WGCI Morning Show when I was in Chicago. That happened on a While I Wake Up show in North Carolina.
Yeah.
That's radio. That's the dynamics of working in a group setting. That's the dynamics of, that's why they have people on the show that have different personalities that bring different things to conversation. You know what I mean? It's literally the point of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, yes.
Any moments stick out? Like, okay, this one was crazy, or
God, man,
so many.
I'm so terrible. I don't ask me what I did yesterday. I don't remember. No, not really. None in particular.
Yeah,
none in particular because for me, it's an everyday thing.
Yeah, you actually have interviewed some of the biggest names before they were stars. Now, was there a person that you interviewed early and you felt like, yo, this one right here gonna change the game. This one gonna be a star?
I don't know. I think a lot of that kind of stuff you can believe in people, but it's kind of even if you believe in somebody, this industry is so weird. You never really know how it's going to play out long term. The person that has taken it the furthest that I've seen from the most humble beginnings is Fantasia.
Wow. So how long ago did you?
So you said you came to Greensboro in 2004, right? So when I was doing the night show on 102 Jamz, between 2001 and 2003, I don't know the exact year, I used to do this segment on my show called Santillian Star Search. So I would start a song, I would get somebody on the phone, I would play the song, you sing along with the song, and then when I stop, you keep going, or something to that effect, right? And people used to call up and sing or whatever, and Fantasia was one of those people. And Fantasia, she would just kill every time she won. Every time she would sing, she would win. And then at one point, I was like, yo, I need you to sing something for me. And I was like, just sing my name or whatever. And she sang Kyle Santillian on 102 Jamz. And I used that for my intro every night.
Wow.
Then she went to American Idol and won it.
Dang.
So, so I can't say that I knew that.
Right.
But I knew that she was winning on the radio.
Right.
And I know that she sounded dope enough for me to ask her to do that piece.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think I had met her. That was all on the phone. And I think I had met her one time, like some event out in Greensboro. You know, I don't know. We was just out in the street or whatever. And I met her that one time. And the next thing I know, she was on American Idol.
Wow. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. Crazy, right?
That's in the beginning.
Yeah,
like,
facts.
and you help amplify her voice too.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you know what I mean? But I could never take credit for nothing like that.
Oh,
but
yeah.
It was just dope to look back and, like, damn, that's crazy.
You part of that journey.
Part of the journey.
Yeah, you
for
part of that
sure,
journey for sure.
And the other person that I feel like I may have seen from an early stage might have been Cole. 2010, 2009. Shout out to my girl Shalia, Winston-Salem State. She hosted a conference called Hip Hop is Reality.
Right.
Excuse me. And we did a panel. We talked about music, radio. A bunch of us was on a panel with a bunch of students. Then after the panel, we went into the gym and they had a concert. So J. Cole was on the panel with us.
Right.
And he performed in the gym. We talking about when the Come Up mixtape was out.
Sound like the Come Up back then.
The Come Up mixtape, right? So I hosted the show in the gym and he was performing for like 500 kids.
Wow.
So to see how far he took
from the gym to stadiums.
It's crazy, bro. It's crazy. So those are the two I feel like I've seen the longest journey.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Now, speaking about like kind of like music or hip hop, R&B, anything, like if you're stuck on a 10-hour road trip and you can only listen to 3 albums, no skips, what you rocking with?
I'm probably going to have to pick an album from different genres. I'm probably going to go, it's tough. I might say Nas Illmatic. Give me a D'Angelo Brown Sugar.
Oh, okay.
So I can have songs from different albums.
Yeah.
Give me Greatest Hits Michael Jackson.
You can't go wrong with him.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
You seen that movie yet? Michael Jackson movie
man.
yet?
I'm probably going to go watch it after this, actually.
Dope.
Yeah.
I heard it's a lot. Someone told me it's more so like a musical because it's doing so much music. It's not a whole lot of acting in it, but it's good.
I've heard it's been good too. Everybody's talking about how dope it is.
Yeah, dope. I'm gonna have to check it out too, man. Maybe next weekend. I did want to actually get your insight on. I saw the Game say something about Drake recently, saying like how he feel like the industry is suffering when he hasn't been dropping. Do you think there's any legitimacy to that?
I think there's a Drake void. But to me, that says how weak the industry is. I don't even think it's really about Drake. You know what I mean? When as an industry have we ever relied on one person to keep it moving? And if that's our mentality, I think the industry is trash.
Wow.
You know what I mean? That's how I look at it. I was just thinking about that the other day. Like, we should never have to wait around for one artist.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Since when do we do that? Like, we got a bunch of people that are dropping stuff. You know what I mean? Like, so I don't really think that's as much as about Drake as it is about how bad the industry has become.
Right, man. That's a bar right there.
Yeah.
Do you have any regrets in life?
I used to say that I regretted not starting my radio career sooner, but I mean, I can't really regret that. Like, you know, things have worked out pretty good. Yeah. I guess not. You know what I'm saying? When I think about it, not really too much.
Got you.
I can't think of anything that I'm like, oh, that was really terrible. Like, I regret that. Like, nah, not really.
Yeah, got you. How about what's a major pet peeve for you?
When people are rude to other people. When people don't know how to be cordial with people. You ain't got to like everybody. You ain't got to be, you don't even have to be nice to everybody, but you don't have to be an asshole neither.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, you know how they say, like, when you go into a building, you should treat the janitor with the same respect you treat the CEO.
Right.
Like, I believe that.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
It says something about your character. Like, character is a big thing to me, man.
Yeah.
It's like, it's kind of weird because sometimes, like, someone don't say they recognize your face, but then they hear, like, oh, you do this, then all of a sudden they want to give you.
Man, what?
Ain't that crazy?
Yeah. Come on, man. Like, what I do for a living, that's been the case forever now. Wow. You know what I mean? Forever now. Yeah, I hate that. I hate that. So I feel like everybody should be treating everybody with the same kind of respect. And I do believe that, you know, you have to have a certain amount of self-confidence in yourself, but I also don't like when people feel like they're better than other people or treat other people like they're better than other people.
Right.
No, we all out here trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's not to say you shouldn't walk around and have a certain amount of self-confidence.
Right.
It ain't about your confidence. It's about how you reflect onto other people.
Absolutely. Like, bank accounts don't got nothing to do with you being better than somebody. You just got more money.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. Some of the worst people got a lot of money.
Facts.
You know what I mean? So
you ain't lying there.
Yep.
So, what has been the most rewarding thing about your profession, though?
Reaching people, like, even when coming in here and y'all and the conversations, you know, we have even before we started this, like, yo, I remember, God, like, I damn near grew up listening, like, that kind of stuff is crazy to me.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's the best part of what we do is the audience, the listening audience. For me, is the best part. I've enjoyed the lifestyle that comes with the radio business. Like, I get to go to the shows and talk to the people, you know what I mean? The artists and all that kind of stuff. It's cool. But the best part is the interaction with our audience. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's always been my favorite part.
Yeah. Like, it's fun doing it, but when you actually see the impact too, it's like, whoo, that's what you're doing it for.
And not that we forget, but what people don't realize on the other side of the radio is you're in your car and you're driving down the highway and you can hear all these different people with the same radio station turn at the same time, right? But for us, it's just like 3 people in a room.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then you realize the impact when you go outside and somebody says, oh, remember what y'all said this morning or whatever, you know what I mean? Or I remember when I first got to Chicago, it's crazy, bro. I got to Chicago, and maybe I was only there for like a year or something. I was still in my early stages of working in Chicago. And I was doing Kyle's Message of the Day, which I still do now. And we was at an event in the park, in Columbus Park on the west side of Chicago. And this kid came up to me. I'm not a kid, like, he's probably in his late teens, early 20s. He was like, yo, man, he was like, that message that you gave that, I don't even remember the message.
Wow.
Whatever it was, that message that you gave that day, man, that saved my life. You know what I mean? I'm like, whoa, like, you know what I mean? But that's really the best part of the job is having that kind of, that's why I feel like it's important how, you know, regardless of what the music is putting out, like, our responsibility, at least my responsibility, are the things that I say between the songs.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Now, speaking on Kyle Message of the Day, what would you say to a man like myself doing what I do? What kind of game would you provide me?
I feel like you on it. You just got to keep going. You know what I mean? The fact that we're sitting here right now, like, the fact that you going to the festivals, you know what I mean? Like, keep putting yourself in those environments. Yeah. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, it's really keep doing what you're doing.
Right.
And I think people overlook consistency. Sometimes, like, when you're doing the same thing for a period of time and you feel like you're not breaking through to what the next level is,
Right.
people can get discouraged.
Yeah.
But that's when you got to just keep doing it. It's the
Right.
consistency part. You know what I mean? It's the fact that you're doing it and you keep going, and some days you're like, damn, I got to go all the way over here to get this content, or you know what I mean? Like, I know that's what it is, but just keep going, because it's when you stop, that's when you might have been right there.
Right.
That next one might have been the one, you know what I mean? So just keep going.
Yeah, that's a fact, man, because I have been discouraged before, you know, but then somehow each time I feel a little discouraged, I be going somewhere random.
Yeah.
And someone's like, yo, I'm like,
Exactly.
that's crazy.
Exactly.
Yeah, I shouldn't quit.
Exactly.
You know, because, you know, I'm investing all this time. You know, I got a studio, you know, paying for the equipment. And then, like, sometimes I'm like, well, yo, I feel like I got such great potential, but, like, I rapped too back in the day. I'm like, yo, I know I'm good at this, but somehow I get so close each time and something fall through the wayside and it don't work out or something like that.
Yep.
So I'm like, yo, but every time I get a reminder, like, nah, as soon as you feel like you about to just quit, something will hit you. I'm like, I'm doing it for a reason. So yeah, that's major, that consistency.
I believe it, man. That's it right there. Just keep going.
Yeah. I wanted to get some more insight on, okay, where do you think the future of radio will be in the next 15 years or so?
Radio as a the corporate side of radio, you know what I mean? As I think it's just assimilated and expanded into the digital stuff.
Yeah.
Right. So now you have companies like, you know, Urban One, Radio One, iHeart, you know what I mean? Odyssey. So now you have radio, but then they also have podcast departments associated with it. So then they're also having their digital departments as well. So I think it's more inclusion. You know what I mean? It's not like the companies are not just saying, all right, we're doing broadcast radio.
Right.
We're going to do broadcast radio. We're going to do the podcast. We're going to do the digital space. And it's all encompassing. You know what I mean? And I think that's kind of the future of it.
Yeah. So kind of like the Breakfast Club going to Netflix thing. What do you think about that dynamic? Like,
I think it's dope.
Yeah.
I think it's dope. I think, you know, anytime that you can find places to expand and reach different audiences, that's what you're trying to do.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it's dope too.
Yeah.
I was. It seemed like people was like, yo, I don't even want to go to Netflix. I like pulling up YouTube to listen to this. And like I saw some people like having that, but then all of a sudden you see posts later like, hey, this is the highest screened podcast or whatnot. So
there's a little bit of that.
Yeah.
I think anytime you go from, and this is just with music, radio, podcast, like, you know what I mean? When you go from a space of this is where people knew you from,
right,
to another space where, you know, people are unfamiliar with you being in that space, you can lose some of your original audience. You know what I mean? I think that happens across the board.
Yeah, and it's always at risk, but also you can lose some, then you can gain some.
Right.
And then those ones you lost, so eventually like, oh, forget it, I'm going to find out where they at and tune in.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But, I mean, you lose the aspect of the free access on YouTube.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's where it gets a little tricky.
Yeah.
Now people gotta, what if I didn't have a Netflix prescription?
Right. Yeah.
I
A
said
lot don't.
Subscription.
Yeah. Oh, you going to CVS?
Right. Right.
Yeah. Yeah, that's real, man. So, I mean, how can people tune in if they not locked in? See what you got going on. Tap into the Morning Hustle Show.
Yeah, man. Morning Hustle Show, at Morning Hustle Show on Instagram for that. For me personally, at Radio King Kyle on all platforms. Man, just tap in with me. You can listen online. Morning Hustle Show has an app, so you can download the app on anywhere you get your apps and all of that. But yeah, man, that's where I'm at.
Yeah, man.
That's where I'm at. You know what I mean? I just want, can I just end with something real quick?
Yeah, for sure.
I just want to say, man, because I know y'all based in North Carolina, and my journey in radio started there, and I just want to say how much I appreciate, you know what I mean, just everybody in the triad, man. Winston, Greensboro, High Point, Burlington, you know what I'm saying? Everybody in the whole Piedmont. And you know what I mean? Those, when I look back on radio, and we talked about the industry changing, right? Like my shows and my people and all that is cool. When I talk about the industry changing, and I feel like some of the things that we were doing at that time, very close to my heart, man. So shout out to everybody in North Carolina for sure.
Yeah, definitely, man. We got a legend. I'm telling you, like, your mark was so huge for our city. Like growing up, I can still like when we get driving on now, we can still kind of like hear your voice even though it's not there. You know what I'm saying? It's like your presence is still known. So major salute to you. Like when I first, met you in person last year, I told you like how, your journey was an inspiration to me doing what I'm doing. Like, cause I was like motivated by the things I hear you saying on the radio, how you, navigate the rooms and things like that. So the impact can be so much bigger than we even recognize. So it was definitely big for us. You were talking to my brother-in-law, Kadeem. He was telling you how he grew up on you and so many other people, the people in Chicago. Yeah. So it's just major salute and respect, and we appreciate what you do, fam.
I appreciate y'all, man. I'm glad we had that chance to sit down.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
All right, man. So until next time, you guys hold it down. Don't let it hold you. Peace.
The Highest Point Podcast.
More than a pod, it's a lifestyle.